She built an empire from nothing, a black CEO who owned the grandest hotel in town. But one night, she was thrown out of her own lobby, humiliated, disrespected, and betrayed by her own staff. Why would they dare? What hidden prejudice fueled their actions? In just 9 minutes, her response would shake the foundations of that hotel forever. This isn't just her story. It's a raw, unflinching look at a truth we can't ignore. Will you keep watching to see justice unfold? Amara Jones had built her empire from the ground up. A black woman in her early 40s, she was the proud CEO of the luxurious Grand Horizon Hotel, a beacon of elegance in the heart of the city. Each morning, she walked through its gleaming lobby, her heels clicking with purpose, her smile warm as she greeted guests. Her success was a testament to years of grit, outshining the doubts of those who said she'd never make it. Tonight, she lingered late, reviewing plans to expand her dream. But as she stepped into her own lobby, a chilling glance from her staff hinted at a betrayal she never saw coming. Amara stepped into the Grand Horizon's lobby, expecting the usual hum of activity, bellhops scurrying, guests chatting, the soft clink of champagne glasses. Instead, silence greeted her. The air felt heavy, the staff's eyes sharp and cold. She adjusted her blazer, brushing off the unease, and approached the front desk. Her assistant manager, a man she'd promoted herself, stood rigid, his lips curled in a way that wasn't quite a smile. "Ms. Jones," he said, his voice clipped, "you need to leave. Now." Her heart stuttered. Leave? This was her hotel, her legacy, built from years of late nights and impossible odds. She laughed, thinking it a joke, but his glare didn't waver. She scanned the room. Every employee, her employees, stared back, some with folded arms, others whispering. A young concierge she'd mentored averted her gaze. The betrayal stung sharper than the words. "This is my hotel," Amara said, her voice steady but her hands trembling. The assistant manager stepped closer, his tone venomous. "Not tonight, it isn't." He gestured toward two security guards, their uniforms crisp, their faces blank. They moved toward her, hands on their radios, as if she were a stranger trespassing on her own property. Guests in the lobby turned, their murmurs growing louder, phones slipping out to capture the scene. Amara's pulse raced. She'd faced skepticism before, investors who doubted her, rivals who sneered at her ambition. But this was different. This was personal. The guards flanked her, their presence a silent threat. She locked eyes with the assistant manager, searching for a reason. Was it her success? Her skin? The whispers she'd ignored about resentment in the ranks. "You're making a mistake," she said, her voice low, but he only smirked. The lobby doors loomed closer as the guards nudged her forward. Her mind churned. Should she fight back, demand answers, or walk away? Each step toward the exit felt like a surrender, but the fire in her chest was growing. Then, a guest's voice cut through the tension. "Isn't that the owner?" The question hung in the air, unanswered. Amara's eyes darted to the crowd, now a mix of confusion and curiosity. The assistant manager's smirk faltered, just for a moment. She stopped walking, planting her feet firmly on the marble floor she'd chosen herself. The lobby doors were inches away, the cold night air seeping through the glass, but Amara stood frozen, her heels rooted to the marble. The security guards loomed, their hands hovering near her arms, ready to drag her out of her own empire. The assistant manager's smirk burned into her, his words echoing. "Not tonight, it isn't." Her chest tightened, rage and humiliation warring within her. This was her hotel, her dream, her legacy. Yet here she was, reduced to an intruder by the very people she'd trusted. The crowd's whispers grew louder, phones flashing, capturing her shame. She saw it now. This wasn't just betrayal. It was a calculated erasure, rooted in the color of her skin. Amara's eyes blazed as she turned to face the assistant manager. "You think you can take this from me?" Her voice cut through the silence, sharp and unyielding. The guards hesitated, their confidence cracking. She stepped forward, not back, her presence commanding the room. Every guest, every staff member, felt the shift. Her heart pounded, but her fear had burned away, replaced by a fire she hadn't felt since the day she fought to build this place. She pointed at the assistant manager, her finger steady. "You don't know who you're dealing with." The crowd gasped. A woman in the corner whispered, "That's the CEO." The assistant manager's face paled, his smirk gone. Amara's mind raced. This was the moment. She could walk away, humiliated, or she could fight. She chose fire. In a single, defiant breath, she made a decision that would echo beyond these walls. The guard stepped back, sensing the tide turning. The lobby felt electric, every eye locked on her next move. Amara didn't leave the Grand Horizon that night. With every eye on her, she strode to the front desk, her voice steady as she announced, "This hotel is mine, and I'm not going anywhere." By morning, she'd fired the entire staff involved, starting with the assistant manager. The news spread like wildfire, headlines screaming of her bold stand. The Grand Horizon, once a symbol of her triumph, now stood as a battleground against the prejudice that had tried to erase her. Amara rebuilt her team, hiring those who shared her vision, not her shame. Her hotel thrived, but the scars of that night lingered, a reminder of the cost of her success. This wasn't just Amara's fight. It was a mirror to the countless others who face quiet, insidious discrimination, moments that don't make headlines but cut just as deep. Her stand exposed a truth. Racism doesn't always shout. Sometimes it sneers from behind a desk, cloaked in authority. Amara's victory wasn't just in reclaiming her hotel, but in forcing the world to see that truth. She became a beacon, inspiring others to speak, to fight, to refuse to be silenced. Yet the question remains, how many more Amaras must stand alone before the world stops looking away? Her story challenges us to act, to call out injustice, to lift those who've been pushed down. Will you share her story? Will you be part of the change?